altcoins will all go to zero. Do you still hold that view?
Yes, I do, because ultimately it's a game of energy and who gets the energy and who wins the energy race. And Bitcoin is winning the energy race. 85 or 90% of all the energy in the universe of this asset class is already into Bitcoin, and that will keep going up to 100%. So these other altcoins effectively will just starve of energy because nobody will be mining them or maintaining the networks or developing them because that energy is going to be over in the Bitcoin space. So they literally get starved of energy.
But if all altcoins are going to zero, does that imply that all DeFi projects not based on Bitcoin will inevitably fail? Because you have the entire DeFi space based on several altcoins and blockchain protocols that are not Bitcoin. And it sounds like that's the same as saying back in 1997 that all internet companies except one are going to go to zero. So you're saying that there's no future for the entire DeFi, decentralized finance space, unless it's based on Bitcoin?
Well, anything that's decentralized or built on other protocols like Ethereum, for example, they're built on centralized, what I call garbage. So let's take Ethereum for a second. It's entirely centralized. All the servers are on corporate server farms that can be turned off at a moment's notice. The transactions have been reversed many times. There's a huge, like 70% pre-mine, so the founders just dump coins on people all the time. And the things that are being built on Ethereum, like NFTs, are every single day the people are waking up to the fact that they're just scams. They're just outright scams. So there hasn't been any useful development on any of these altcoins at all. That hasn't been shown to be an utter scam. And DeFi, these projects routinely blow up. People are constantly getting blown up. They live in a gray area that's outside of all regulations, and there's no reason for them to exist. They're scamming.
But there's several protocols that are not Bitcoin based, and so far we're seeing Ethereum as the gateway to a lot of these DeFi protocols.
Right.
You're ultimately,
just to be clear, Ethereum is an exit scam. Ethereum is a scam. Just to be clear.
Ethereum is a scam because it's centralized.
Because it's 70% pre-mined, and the founders dump coins onto. It's a pyramid scheme. Ethereum is essentially a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. Transactions have been reversed. There's never been an audit. Nobody knows how many Ethereum there are. They have absolutely no idea. Vitalik Buterin, who's one of the key guys in Ethereum, has said he doesn't think that scarcity is important in this type of model. He doesn't think that decentralization is important, right? So. What's the point of it? It's a scam, and the SEC, Gary Gensler, has yet to come out definitively and say whether or not Ethereum is a security. So we're still waiting for that definitive comment. He may, in fact, and it is a security because it was created with the intention of profiting or making money from the sale of these tokens. That's textbook securities, a security sale. I know because I'm a former broker for many years. I know a security when I see one, and that's a security. And it should be shut down as an unregulated, unregistered security, for one thing. And number two, it's a scam.
Okay, so you're saying that the only coin that's going to be left at the end of the day in the entire DeFi space is Bitcoin, that there's no room for any other altcoins.
Correct.
Gary Gensler, let's focus on him, the Securities and Exchange Chair, of course. And he is saying now that his focus is actually going to be on the trading platforms for cryptocurrencies, the crypto exchanges. He's really going to nail down his focus there. What impact do you think that's going to have? Could it maybe even serve to legitimize the space and make retail investors more comfortable?
Well, my understanding of Gary Gensler and the SEC, a couple of points. First of all, let me say this. I have to point out the fact that there hasn't been an approval of a cash basis Bitcoin ETF.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
It's getting to be embarrassing for the SEC. They do have one ETF, which is a futures-based ETF. And anybody who's in the securities industry will tell you that any futures-based ETF, it's almost, without exception, a horrible product. That's not suitable for anybody. This particular futures-based Bitcoin ETF has performed predictably horribly. And why would they even launch something like that in a retail environment before just doing a cash Bitcoin ETF? So I really have to ask what Gary Gensler's office is up to there. It doesn't look good. It smells bad. It looks like they are dragging their feet in a way that would suggest almost that they are providing cover for those who find this a threat. I hate to see it, but it wouldn't surprise me if that came out. But on the other hand, let's talk about Gary Gensler's comments about Bitcoin. They've been constructive. He sees it as a one-off, as a kind of a unique phenomenon that's unregulatable. That's the horse has left the barn, and there's no going back at this point. So his comments are really, as you say, they're looking more at now the exchanges and how the exchanges operate. Okay, that's more in the bailiwick of the SEC and what their traditional focus should be on how to regulate exchanges. And okay, do your job and take a look at these exchanges. It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't impact Bitcoin, the asset, at all. It may impact regionally how people are trading on exchanges in the United States versus other opportunities in other countries. But
could it be a positive for Bitcoin if it's creating a sense of more security for retail investors that say, I don't want to have a Coinbase account because I don't know what's backing it. I'm concerned that my money could get wiped out. If it does become SEC regulated, then it kind of may allay some of those concerns and perhaps potentially even be a positive for Bitcoin. Do you see that?
Well, what I would say is this, Michelle. The absolute most prudent thing anyone can do when they buy some Bitcoin is to take it off the exchange and to hold it in your own cold storage in a hard wallet or a multi-sig wallet, and don't hold any Bitcoin on any exchange at all. That's because just like when you put money in a bank, the money is technically owned by the bank, right? It's not your money anymore. So when you have Bitcoin on an exchange, you're exposing yourself to risk over there at the exchange, which you don't need to. You just never keep any Bitcoin on any exchange. Always take your Bitcoin off the exchange and self-custody your Bitcoin. And is this consumer friendly? Is it as easy to do? Well, no, it's not. But then again, we're talking about the ability to have a bearer instrument that's accessible only by you, that's unconfiscatable, uncensorable money, and it's incredibly valuable. It's like a Fabergé egg. What lengths would you go to protect your Fabergé egg? You would go to great lengths to protect it because it's very rare and it's very valuable. Bitcoin is similarly very rare, very valuable, and it's going to just get more valuable over time. And it does take a little care in owning it and maintaining it. But to your point, the broader market, the broader consumer market, I see that Google is going to be doing a deal with BitPay, and they're going to be selling some product like a Bitcoin card or something like that, some kind of consumer product. So you're going to see more consumer products and more friendly consumer products, and you're going to see the market expand, and it will increase visibility, and it will increase the learning curve, and people will get more knowledgeable about it. So to that degree, I guess you could say it's a positive because it becomes more available and people are aware of it. And then those folks that want to get deeper into it will learn more about it, and they will have that knowledge. So if you're talking about somebody with 50 or $100 in Bitcoin, it doesn't really make any difference. But if you're talking about somebody with a considerable amount of wealth in Bitcoin, they should take a slightly different path, but they naturally will. That's what rich people do, right? They know how to secure their wealth.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.